This is a series of slides on how to assemble the LN-4 prosthetic hand, and I'm going to add a narrative that describes the steps. Mostly the slides are self-evident, but there may be a few places where the voice will assist in the assembly process. Very important to find the aluminum base and the little plastic bit and the 4 screws and put that together first. There's a lot of parts involved, but this is the first step, as it is the base, in fact, for the rest of the hand. The next bit's a little bit tricky once that's done, is to get the toggles and the little rubber tubes and the pins involved. There's 2 of the toggles and 2 of the pins, and so they're kind of parallel, as you can see. It's a little bit twiddly to get this done, but it's essential that the brass bit goes in the right direction, so that the sharp end, the tooth end of it, will hit the ratchet properly. So note that in the pictures. Also, the tube has to be inserted and go as far down as possible, and it has to be exactly the right length. All the tubes should be the same length, first of all, and should be the exactly proper length to fit under the little ledge on the brass bit. Once that's done, you're ready to assemble the first rigid digit, the middle digit, and you start that by putting these pins in, and then you'll see on the slides where they're balanced equally, even on either side of the middle digit. This next step involving the spring is a little bit twiddly also, if I can use that word again. There's this special screw that you use an Allen wrench to put through that hole, and then you can see the end of the spring through the horizontal hole, and you have to make sure that bolt, that small screw, goes through one end of the spring, and use those needle nose pliers to pull on the screw on the spring to make sure that it's fixed in there on one end at this point. Then you can go ahead and attach the base and this rigid middle digit and put the pin in place that holds those 2 securely together. Then the slides are showing the first movable digit and how you go about putting that spring in there. It does not jam into the slot. It just sits there, and then just the 2 pieces, once the plastic, once they're together, will hold the spring in place. Use a small tool, the way that was shown, to make a little space on the end, so that when you insert this small pin into the hole where the spring is, it goes ahead of the spring in this position and not into the spring. That's very important for the proper tensioning of the movable digits. And then you can go ahead and put on the side piece with the 2 hex bolts that hold it all in place, and that's essential. You can't test the movable digit until those 2 bolts are in place. It's part of the mechanism that makes the ratchet work. And then you do the other side, same thing. Once you have both sides on, you have something resembling a hand, and you have the last little bit to do. You need this special tool to grab the end of the spring and pull it out and insert the little horizontal pin that puts the spring under tension, and that works the wrist mechanism, which is, of course, key to the release of the flexible digits, the movable digits. At this point, you essentially have a hand complete. In our slides, we show adding on the rubber grommet, and then the screwing on the cuff, and that gives you something to hold on to so that you can test the fingers, and you should test them 10 times. Ratchet them up and release, ratchet them up and release 10 times to make sure that you have a good solid hand, and then congratulations, you have a hand.